Section 2.4, the precise definition of a limit. Let's consider a function f of x equal to x plus 3. The graph is below, and we know from the limit law, if we want to find the limit of f of x when x approaches to 2, then we just need to plug in the 2 into the function, so we will get 7. So here is the question. How close to 2 does x have to be so that f of x differs from 7 by less than 0.1? The meaning of this question is that let's pay attention to f of x differs from 7 by less than 0.1. So I have 7 is right here. If I want to go around 7 but only less than 0.1, that means I can go up only 7.1 or go down up to 6.9. Then what will be x supposed to be around 2? So how do we do that? From the graph is we will take it back 6.9 to the function and 7.1 to the function. And now we look at the x. So I will call this point. Right here is the x point. Then how far that 2 go to the right or to the left on the x. And I will call that space is a delta. And our job is we need to find delta so that 2 go to the right delta step or go to the left delta step. So our job is we need to find the delta later. Okay, so here is the process how we begin. We have the x value on the x-axis. The distance from 2 to x is absolute value of x minus 2. And this is the f of x, 7.1 and 6.9. So the distance from f of x to 7 is f of x minus 7. We notice that we want just around 0.1, and of course it can be smaller than 0.1, okay? Then the 2 go to the x, it can be delta or can be less than delta, smaller than delta. So we need to find the delta such that if the distance from the f of x to 7 less than 0.1, so we just want less than 0.1. It can be, that means 7.1 less. It can be 7.009. Okay, so we want that distance to be less than 0.1 if in the x part, x minus 2 less than delta. The distance from x to 2 less than delta, and our job is to find delta. So what do we need to do is we just go ahead and plug in the function. The function f of x is 2x minus 3. And then bring down the 7 minus less than 0.1 if x minus 2 less than delta. You know that our job is to find x minus 2. Okay, so we need to do some algebra for this. So let's simplify a little bit, right? So we have 2x minus 4 less than 0.1. And then we can factor out the 2. So we have x minus 2 less than 0.1. So what do we see here now? So you have x minus 2, right? So what should I do is we know that from the absolute value property, we have absolute value of a times b is the same as absolute value of a times absolute value of b. So I have a multiply. So I'm going to separate the 2 and the x minus 2. So x minus 2 less than, so absolute value of 2 is 2. Then I will divide 2 both sides. So 0.1 divided by 2, I will get 0.05. So compare with what we want, then the delta have to be 0.05. So let's go to the graph, and what it means is that if we go 0.05 to the right, so this point right here, it will be 2 plus 0.05, and that will be 2.05. And this point on the left side, if 2 go to the left side 0.05, that means you will do 2 minus 0.05. And the answer is 1.95. Okay, so the conclusion is that if x is within a distance of 0.05 from 2, then f of x will be within 0.1 from 7. Okay, so the question is now, if I do not want the f of x differs from 7 by less than 0.1, but if I want the number is like 0.01, this is mean that from 7 you go up 0.01 step and 0.01 step down. Okay, so that means we will get 7.01 or 6.99. Okay, then can we able to find delta? The answer is yes. You just follow the same process. So this number 0.01 or 0.01 is a number that we can change. So let's call that number is called the epsilon. Okay, so we have a definition below. Let f be a function defined on some open interval that contains the number a, except possibly at a itself. Then we say that the limit f of x as x approaches a is L, and we write limit f of x when x approaches to a equal to L for every number epsilon greater than 0. There is a number delta such that, okay, so remember that epsilon is on the y part, okay, and delta is on the x part. So such that the distance on the x part less than delta, and of course it have to be greater than 0 because that is a distance, and the distance from the y part from L, which is f of x minus delta absolute value less than epsilon. Here is the meaning in the picture in general. So right here, if we want to go epsilon step on the y part, that means we have 7 plus epsilon or 7 minus epsilon. Take it back to the function. Okay, so right here we should have 2 plus sigma and 2 minus sigma on the y part. For the condition is the delta and the epsilon, they both have to be positive number.